Hey, good morning, All Saints. For this newsletter vlog, we are going to talk about youth ministry at All Saints, what it's looked like in the past and what it's going to look like in the future. And to explain all of this and more to us is our Director of Youth Ministry, Michael McGee. Michael, how's your day gone so far?
Man, I'm just glad not to be sweating outside. We have AC that works inside, and I've had coffee. So I'm ready to talk about youth ministry. I mean, what's better than caffeine in youth ministry? So let's talk about it. I'm
Yeah.
pumped. I'm pumped.
Well, to start us off, the first question is, what is Project Mammoth and why are you not scared by it?
Project Mammoth, a local scientist. He goes by a pseudonym that's like Mustin Desser. So I think that it's actually might be you that's leading this
Mhm.
project to resurrect the mammoth. So I'm not as afraid because I've seen you work with some scientific stuff, and I think you're way better at the theology.
Yeah, it's basically, I wish I was involved. They're taking the DNA of a mammoth, a woolly mammoth, and reviving it. And I asked Michael if he was or was not afraid of it. And he said, no, because you could put it on an island like in Jurassic Park,
It's perfect.
as if this fool has never watched past the first 15 minutes of Jurassic Park. It goes poorly, but you can Google at your leisure everything there is to know about Project Mammoth. The second question is about youth ministry. How long have you been doing youth ministry here at All Saints, and what does that look like?
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of being here at All Saints for about a year and a half now. When I came in, we had kind of like an in between service. We only had two services at one point. We meet for about 30 minutes, which with youth, you're really only talking about 15 minutes and get
Hmm.
to know the students. But since then, we've had an incredible opportunity to expand that. For about the past year or so, we've been doing a first and third Sundays where we get together in the youth room, talk about the Bible, talk about each other's lives, pray, play games. It's been a really great time. And we've had some incredible family buy in to the point where we think it's appropriate now to be shifting to a weekly gathering. So, yeah, I'd love to tell you more about that.
Yeah, what will a weekly youth gathering look like?
Yeah, a priority in it is to keep families together for worship. And so, where we start with is we wanted our volunteers and we wanted our actual youth members with their families still in our service downstairs in the sanctuary. And so, we prioritized that and tried to construct something around it. And so, what will happen is each Sunday, starting September 1st, our youth will, whether they're in the second or third service, be able to attend the sermon and Eucharist during their particular service. So it'll begin right after Eucharist for the 9:30 second service. So don't think 9:30, but think 10:45 is when Eucharist ends for the 9:30 service. And so we're inviting youth to come up at about 10:45 here in the same youth room. It'll start at 10:45 and go until 11:20. 11:20 is when we finish reading the gospel downstairs. And so students will re-enter for the sermon if they're part of the third service. Easy way to remember this is that second service individuals, they'll just leave after communion, go to their youth group. And those who go to the third service, they'll join the service right after, right before the sermon begins. And so it'll take some getting used to, but really what we're trying to do is still hold true to what our values are in our sacrament theology here, to be a part of word and table, be a part of sermon, be a part of sacrament. And so this will enable us to get a touch point each week to be able to pray with, study the scriptures, and participate in worship together.
Yeah, that's awesome. One of the kind of obstacles to our location, there are a few things, I guess. One is, if you're a 16 or 17-year-old student, you're probably not going to be comfortable driving downtown midweek
Right.
in the evening for a traditional weekly gathering with other students. So that's an obstacle. And another obstacle is how dispersed our church is. We have youth who live in Plano and some in Waxahachie from all over. And so utilizing Sunday time is really important. I hope parents and students take advantage of this new weekly gathering. But you have also been really creative about um, other ways to gather youth. So what are some of the things youth have done in the past together outside of Sunday, and what are some things you have planned in the future?
Yeah, in the past, the group that we have, we've been heavy on board games. So we
Yeah.
play a lot of board games and eat a lot of Chipotle. So we try to meet monthly to make sure that we're getting outside of the walls here at All Saints and make sure that we're in people's homes. The parents get a great time to meet each other, get to know each other. We think that this enables parents to kind of serve as a sounding board for how to disciple how life is going with all the various schedules. And so we try to, a lot of times parents are there in the other room or they're nearby or they go get lunch or something. As an idea behind it is that the parents and the students are together. So looking forward, we're going to continue to do service. So a big part of what we do as a youth group is we serve together. So we're part of the human impact that's nearby. We go serve with them. We learn more about the homelessness in Dallas and how we can meet that, how Christ views everyone with dignity and as humans, as well as we're going to have a lot of fun. Coming up even this Saturday, we're going to go to an arcade here in Dallas that we'd love to welcome other youth to come join us for and try to beat us at some skee ball and some other arcade games. And then, of course, in the fall, we also do our annual fall retreat that we'll be joining Christ Church Plano again with in November. And so that's going to be a huge, awesome opportunity. Another big thing we do as a youth is we try to get plugged in. You've seen various youth that get into, whether that's at the soundboard or as an acolyte, we try to get our youth involved. We think that they are fully functioning, participating members. Not only do they participate in the sacraments, but they're also equipping the believers. They're serving each other. They're loving each other, whether they're a few generations behind or not. And so those are a few of the things we got to look forward to this fall.
That's awesome. And I just driving in this morning, I actually passed you and the student with whom you were having coffee, and it just made me so thankful for the ways you've been a relational touch point and a teacher and friend to not only the students but the families at All Saints. So thank you, Michael. I know I speak for all of All Saints when I say thank you for the investment you've made in us, and we are so excited about doing weekly youth gathering and other connection points going forward. If you've been watching this and you have questions about youth ministry, Michael, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah. Email me at McGee. So MMCGEE at ASCDallas.org, which we can drop that somewhere else. It's kind of a mouthful, but just email somebody at All Saints. They'll get you to me. And another thing is I would love to see if there are people in interested at all in walking with youth. We need more volunteers as we go into this new year. And so we don't want to suggest that you're doing a service project with youth. We believe that you're already walking with Jesus, and we'd invite you to come walk with students as you follow Jesus. So please reach out to me if you consider that as well.
Oh yeah, there we've talked a lot about this, but there's a ton of research about students who've lost faith after graduating from high school, and a common theme in the research is that students who've had one connection point at church, like say a youth pastor,
Yep.
are far more likely to leave the church when they grow up. But students who've had a lot of connection points, like Sunday school teachers, other folks in the church, are way more likely to have a sticky faith as they grow. So it's really important that family ministry and youth ministry in particular be a collaborative effort, which we need a leader for, which is who Michael is, but it requires all hands on deck. So thank you again, Michael. Thank you for watching this, and blessings on your day, and we will see you Sunday. Go in
See you.
peace.